Welcome back to Let's Play Avernum, Escape from the Pit. I want to take a moment to analyze what we've been given and what the game is telling us. The game has told us that there is a settlement to the west and a settlement to the north. The settlement to the north is facing problems that are going to be tougher for us to handle than the settlement to the west. So, it has been outright stated, hey, you should probably go west first. Let's take a look at our world map. We've also been told that to the south, somewhere... Ah, I see, they mean south center of the map. The castle is where the government of Avernum meets, both the council and the King Micah, the council being made up of mayors of the different forts and towns. We were also told, hey, you probably want to go visit the castle at some point, which is interesting that they pointed us there. If only in character, for the sake of just seeing, hey, this is the thing we're most proud of. We managed to put this together despite everything going against us. Oh, Fort Dublin is a fort, not a town. That's interesting to know. So we are in a zone called the Eastern Gallery, so I'm assuming the map is going to be made up of 3x3. Kind of neat that there's even like a legend here, even if it's a little hard to read. And indeed, West Destination, meet Silvar's mayor, and apparently we're going to have some better luck finding Anastasia there. And from Silvar we can go west to another town, or south to another town. Or we can come back to Avernum, or Fort Avernum, head north, and then back west for Fort Dubner. I just find it neat to kind of look at, okay, the game gives you all this information to tell you where to go, despite it being a fairly open-ended game. Oh, we can see other travelers on the map. There's a patrol of Avernite militiamen watching the road between Fort Avernum and Silvar. Their weapons and armor are crude and dented, clearly passed down from warrior to warrior for decades. They warn you to watch out for goblins and bandits, and then continue their patrol. So that's rather similar to the overworld in the Queenswitch games, opposed to the Abaddon and Geneforge games, which are node-based. So there's a building out here, and a camp up here that I want to check. Alright, can't do anything with the building. You see in the middle of this grove of twisted trees a huge group of gremlins. These strange, manic creatures are rare on the surface. They're very cheery, but sometimes very volatile and dangerous. Strangely, this group doesn't seem happy at all. In fact, they seem downright suicidal. They lie on their backs, shaking their heads and occasionally sobbing. Let's talk to them. You carefully step forward. Some of them approach and sniff you. They seem to be smelling for something. Soon they decide you're completely uninteresting. Then they rush forward and unceremoniously kick you out of their grove. When you look back, you see that they've returned to their apathetic, mournful state. You must not have had anything that cheers them up. Okay. So there's some gremlins here we can cheer up with something that they can smell. Let's see, across the water, there's some kind of cave to the south. Let's keep poking around outside town first. The sign says Kotra, 5 miles west. Mertis, 15 miles south. The castle, 35 miles south, 50 miles west. All distances are guesses. Let's see. Anything else in the immediate vicinity? Looks like there's some, like, rubble piles? But nothing that seems to catch our eye. Alright. Let's head right into town in Silvar. Oh, you gain experience for discovering POIs. Neat. There's a map of the whole world. Yep. You enter one of Avernum's cities. Well, they would call it a city. By Empire standards, it's a miserable collection of crumbling stone hovels perched on the shore of a black, icy river. The dim green glow from the luminescent moss above gives everything an eerie look. As you enter, one of the guards mutters, "Welcome to Silvar, newcomer. Strangers are welcome here if they wash themselves." They wave you by. So we've got a ballista out here. Immediately two notable buildings, a small inn and a training hall. Training hall might be a respec point. We've got a basement here. Just take a peek. You enter the tunnels under Silvar. Workers have been toiling to burrow toward the water to the south, providing a much-needed channel for the waste and trash of the people above to escape. None of the workers are visible, though. The tunnels have been abandoned. They're eerily quiet. You notice a small pool of green viscous slime on the floor. It's unpleasantly fresh. Let's go talk and find out about that before we deal with that. Give me a break. France's Boat Works. Gruber's Weapons. Out of business. The door is locked, but you managed to pick the lock. You've earned experience. Okay. As long as nobody gets too mad at me. What's going on in here? Trash, clay, rock, broken swords. Oh. Hang on. There's a button here. This concealed passage hasn't been visited in a long time. A thick layer of dust covers everything. Odd. Part of the floor is raised slightly. Try to select the trap to try to disarm it. You're able to disarm it. No bonus experience for that. A fiery wand with a cone of fire and 6 charges and 27 silver coins. Adventurers greatly needed. Inquire at the castle. We're not quite adventurers yet, I don't think. Living statue. You look closer at the statue. It's cleaner than the others and a much nicer piece of craftsmanship to boot. Then it winks at you. Hey, you're a living statue. What are you doing here? I just stand here. Watch. Listen. Hall of Training. Ignorance cured for a reasonable fee. I respect it. Anastasia's armor. Behind the counter, there's a middle-aged woman wearing a thick leather jerkin. A pair of suits of armor displayed behind her. On the surface, they would be thrown into the trash. Down here, they're almost priceless. She nods to you. A customer? Welcome to you. I'm Anastasia. This is my shop. We buy and sell here. I met someone named Warwick. She's looking for you. She's in Fort Avernum. Really? My sister is down here? It's terrible. I was hoping she'd be able to evade the Imperial bastards. Thank you for letting me know. If you see her again, please tell her I'll have her brought here as soon as possible. What do you sell in this shop? I sell armor. You can buy some here if you don't have the coin, or sell some if you don't. Do you think I need armor? You'll need it if you plan to travel down here. Don't count on getting any iron or steel armor, though. Damned expensive. Hard to make down here. Leather's cheap, though. Bronze is okay. Magic? Forget it. Ephraim makes all of the armor we sell here. Who's Ephraim? My husband. He makes weapons in the smithy next door. Ask him about Demon Slayer. You have magic items down here? Few. The mages down here, such as they are, have a really tough time making magic armor. Potions and scrolls, sure, but armor? Almost never. Alright, I'll see your wares. Let's see. A bronze shield is 4 pounds more than a wooden shield for 3% more armor, but you also lose that 5% hit chance. A belt, 3 pounds for 2 armor. Leather gloves, 2 pounds for 2. Thick leather gloves, 3 pounds for 3. Pants. Chainmail vest, 5% chance to hit, 3% chance to evade. Price, slightly expensive. I'm gonna wait until I get Warwick back here, because you're probably gonna give me a discount. Sell prices are gonna be the same, though. Sell all in bag, 38 coins. It's something. Okay, let's stop at the weapon shop. This building contains a small crude smithy, mainly suitable for small work and minor repairs. Several windows in the east wall help the acrid smoke to escape. Notice a large polished blade hanging on the west wall. A small man works at the stone counters, helping to keep the battered weaponry of Avernum in good repair. He says, "Greetings. I am Ephraim. You're in charge of the smithy? Yes, you could buy or sell weapons here. We don't have much of a stock out here. It's hard to get good metal. We do our best. Your wife told me I should ask you about Demon Slayer." He grins wildly and points at the sword on the west wall. "That is Demon Slayer. It's an impressive iron greatsword. Well, I haven't really slayed any demons with it. It's the best sword in these parts, but it's not the genuine article." "What do you mean? Where's the real sword?" "Well, I don't know too much about it, but once a bunch of adventurers and soldiers came here from the Empire. They were called the First Expedition." "First Expedition?" "Aye. They got killed off to a man and woman, and one of them, someone told me, had this amazing demon-slaying sword. That was a while ago. Asked me if this was Demon Slayer. I told him it was. He got real angry, called me a liar, and I suppose I was. Of course, then again, he may have just been jealous of my sword. Guys are like that." Alright, what have you got? Crude daggers, crude short swords, short sword, crude spear, bronze spear. So what's the deal with spears? Like, do they have more range? Ephraim's weapons are all hand-me-downs and used by many Avernite warriors before you. They're poor blades, but better than what you arrived with. Once again, I'm going to wait until I help out your wife, because you're probably going to give me a discount. Switch. Strike harder. Eric 3 scars. You see a big scarred man. The reddish lines on his face stand out starkly against his fishy white skin. He is watching two young Avernite warriors strike practice dummies with cavewood swords. He turns to you when you approach. You have the look of the warrior about you. I'm Eric, but they call me 3 Scars. I can train you if you have the core. You don't mind my asking, how'd you get those scars? The first, I encountered some bandits while wandering the areas around Silvar. Be wary if you travel north. Bandits set traps for those such as you. Second, one of the spears of the Slitherzakai. Slithzerakai. There are many of them in the Eastern Gallery, not far west from here. Don't go west unless you're ready for a fight. And the third? Nosy, aren't you? I earned the third fighting an Empire soldier that was stealing from my village. Didn't kill him. If I had, I'd be dead. Instead, they sent me down here. What do you do here? I train people. Then, when they go into the caves, they end up torn up like me. What sorts of things can you teach me? Well, I can make you faster on your feet. Down in Avernum, the slow are the dead. Interested? With enough money, you can improve your skills in training halls. You can only improve each skill that way twice. Alright. Oh, but those are really good to have, but oh my god. That is a lot of money. I will patronize you yet. Alright. Rations and supplies. From Carol. Carol! A strangely familiar scent of baking fills the air in here. It smells like bread, and yet it's off somehow. There's a pale woman working behind the counter. She has the jitters. She says, "I'm Carol. We have bread. For sale if you want." What do you make here? Well, you can buy bread, some other food, and I have some cows. How do you like raising cows? Well, I try to take care of the poor dears. I'd love to sell you some milk. She chuckles for no apparent reason. But whenever I'm out with them, I hear noises. Noises, you say? Yes, out behind my shop, clunking and stuff. Makes me nervous. That much is obvious. How did you get cows down here? Sometimes the Empire is merciful and sends a few cows to the Fort Avernum. Most of them die down here. A few have adapted, though. They're pale and sickly, but they survive on fungus. They're a good source of milk and meat. Suppose you have to make do with what you can. True enough. Most of the time, though, we just eat giant lizards. Even though the fungus the cows eat makes their milk and meat disgusting, they're still a luxury compared to lizard meat. We bake bread in Avernum. Yes, but with mushroom flour. It doesn't work. Not really. I mean, it's food, but how I missed the surface. So you'll sell an unlimited number of rolls and bread, which are 5 to 9 annually. Slightly expensive. Alright. So you are having troubles behind your shop. It makes you nervous. Interesting. Oh, she's in the way. There's the mayor. A young man in nice, well-cut robes shuffles papers behind a desk. A fine cloth sash, only somewhat threadbare, crosses his chest. A gold amulet hangs from around his neck. He seems pleased to see you. New arrival, I see. Glad you made it to see me. I'm Jonathan, mayor of Silvar, one of the 6 proud cities of Avernum. I'd very much like to speak with you. I'd be happy to speak with you. Your courtesy does you credit. This is a harsh land, but not entirely uncivilized. I simply wanted to ask. You're here. It's done. It cannot be undone. What are your plans from here? Want to get revenge on the Empire? Jonathan frowns and shakes his head. Even if it were possible to strike back at cruel Emperor Hawthorne, it would be unwise. It would only attract the Empire's anger. It would be the death of us all. Please reconsider. Before you go, however, I can provide you with some employment. A good way, perhaps, to use your skills to a better end. I'm interested. I'm glad to hear it. Have a seat. Oh, I can hit the number keys to say the corresponding phrase, by the way, when I'm not clicking. Have a seat. We can discuss our humble settlement and what I'm trying to do to improve it. What do you do here? I'm the mayor of this fine city and a member of the Avernum Council. It keeps me busy. My farm has been sadly neglected during my tenure. What's the council? You already know about this, but different point of view. Well, Avernum has 6 large cities, and this is one of them. The mayors of each form a council, which co-rules with King Micah. It works very well, actually, and I'm proud to be a member. Does the Empire know we have a government down here? The Empire may control everyone and everything on the surface, but it knows precious little about what goes down here. We have our own laws, our own customs, and our own history. Another question? You notice as he reads, he nervously fingers the sash around his chest and the golden necklace around his throat. Let's see what you do here. Counts you have mayors. Of course, we're not savages. I settle the odd dispute, I order the troops, if and when we get attacked, I marshal the defenses, and I take care of the records. It's a lot of work. Where are the records kept? In the room to the west. They're not very interesting, true, but necessary. I keep track of everybody I can who comes to Avernum. Someday people will want to know what happened down here, and when they do, my records will be here. I'd like to know about what you're wearing. Are you referring to my sash and amulet? Them symbols of my power as mayor and councillor. What can the amulet do? It can be used to send me messages from the castle, the capital of all Avernum. It's in the Great Cave. Alas, the power does not extend to me sending messages back. What can the sash do? Hang from my shoulder and require laundering. Its only powers as a symbol. Yet, symbols can be very effective. True enough. Tell me more about the job you had for me. Silvar is digging out a sewer. The excavation is taking place under our feet. Alas, the work has stalled as the tunnels below us have been infested with worms. Big ones. If you can go below and find out how the creatures are entering the tunnels under my city, I'll present you with both a reward and some valuable advice. Why are you building a sewer? They asked, stupidly. For exactly the same reasons anyone anywhere ever builds a sewer. In these caves, it's much harder for waste to rot away. It's an urgent issue. Otherwise, things get very disgusting. Okay, to the sewers? There are 2 entries, the northwest and northeast corners of the city. The northwest entrance will put you closer to the infestation. Can't you give me the reward and advice now? They said, assuming he's very stupid. First, let me see a demonstration of your skills. That will tell me much about how Avernum can best make use of you. Alright. Can't pick that lock. I kind of wanted to read about it, but oh well. Oh, there's a cave wood board at the south end of this path hanging from 2 posts. Several sheets of papyrus have been tacked to it. This must be a job board where people in need of assistance can post appeals for help. I didn't expect a job board in this game. Alright, let's see. Picks and shovels. There's a note from Ephraim the Smith. It reads, I've been tasked to find supplies to recover 1 for Silvar. I will pay in... Tasked to find supplies to recover ore for Silvar. I will pay in coin for 3 picks and 3 shovels. To whoever reads this, I have learned that there may be scrolls in the Bandit Keep northwest of Fort Duvno. Such papers contain magical knowledge, something very rare in the underworld. These papers exist and are brought to me. I will reward my helper with powerful paperwork of my own devising. Signed, Walner of Fort Duvno. Bat swarms. I've been losing carts of rations and ale to swarms of bats. They come from somewhere northeast of Fort Duvno. I'm sick of it. I'll pay a bounty in coin and steel to the first adventurer who can track these pests to their lair and slay 10 of them. And message to Fort Duvno. I am Jay, a warrior from the service. I wish to fight under Captain Johnson of Fort Duvno, but he refuses to speak with me. If any can speak with him on my behalf, I would be grateful. I can be found in the inn in Silvar. Please tell him he can find me here. Alright, odd jobs, makes sense. Let's see. Can't board this boat, it's not your property. Oh, there's a corpse back there. Oh, I can buy a boat. That's interesting. I did not expect that. Meet a burly man. He's wearing a belt covered with tools. His skin is incredibly pale, almost translucent. His workshop is well equipped to work the strange fungal wood that grows down here. Some of it has been worked into a small boat, which is almost complete. The man notices you looking at it. I'm Krentz. This is a boat. I build them. If you don't mind me asking, yes, why is everyone's skin so pale? He laughs and looks at the back of his hand. The lacework of red and blue veins can be seen clearly underneath the skin. If you were born down here, far from the sun, you would look like this too. Give it time. Soon enough, you'll be pale enough. Krantz walks over to the boat and starts checking it for waterworthiness. The water is cold and deep. A bad boat will get you killed. That's why you should only ever buy boats from me. What do you build here? A lot of things, but mainly boats. There's a big call for them in these caves. You can get one for not much gold. He shakes his head. Hope you do. The sliths have been hell for my business. Anyway, if you want to purchase one, say so. They're on sale, 350 gold. Where do the sliths live? There's droves of them to the west, on the other side of the huge lake, and they pretty much own it. People don't fish there anymore. Too risky. Of course, people also need boats to get to the Great Cave to the south. You didn't have sliths on the surface. No, the Slithzera, as far as I know, only live down here. Not all of them are evil. I heard there's a settlement of them in the Great Cave that get along with humans. Most of them, though, crave our flesh. They can swim for a long time underwater. We, on the other hand, need boats like mine to get around. Only 350 gold, if I haven't mentioned. You know what? Yeah, let's go for it. You pay it. Excellent. Help yourself to one of these boats at the docks outside. Points to the east, the conversation ends. Which one is mine? There we go. Click on the boat. You see shapes ahead, lurking in the ever-present shadows. You try to get away unnoticed, but they smell you. They're goblin spies. The goblins are a common pest on the surface until the Empire started to wipe them out. Most of them were killed, but a large number of them were dumped into Avernum. Once here, they bred like mad. Now they're your problem. Ah, hell. Oh. Never mind, they're not that tough. Go ahead and walk away before firebolting that one. Shoot that one. Let's see, Goblin Warrior and a Goblin Shaman. Alright, prioritize the Shaman. Alright, prioritize whatever's next to you. Why did you go that way? Oh, because there's no actual tile that way. That's why. You didn't have a choice. Oh, summon stays even after it dies. That's interesting. Let's see. Extra mushroom for some between battle healing. Speaking of which. There we go. Killed some goblins hiding behind your store. Oh, thank you. I'll be so much less worried now, I think. But then if there were some goblins back there before, there could be more later, couldn't there? Oh dear, oh dear. I'm more worried than ever now. And it's still slightly expensive. Ah, well. It was worth a try. Just a neat little extra encounter if you think to do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Oh, I never stopped at the inn. My sword is for sale. This is a young, well-built man sitting and drinking ale. He's weighed down with two heavy leather bags and a broadsword. He motions for you to join him. I am Jay. It is good to meet a fellow warrior down here, though now I'm just a pitiful refugee. Are you a warrior? Yes, and a refugee. Does that mean you're looking for work? Well, yes, in fact. I've always wanted to travel and see the world. Pretty strong from farm work, and I've hunted all my life. Really good with all sorts of missile weapons. Would you like to join me? I could use another adventurer. He looks you over carefully. I'm not an adventurer. I could be a soldier as long as I know where my next meal's coming from. Sorry, no offense. Okay, so there's a guy here looking for steady work as a sword hand. Meet a man in battered armor. He seems to be drinking himself into a stupor. Are you a soldier? No, a mercenary. Are you fighting anyone right now? Yeah, everyone. Fighting the cat heads, then the sliths, then the cat heads, then the sliths. Well, I've been beat up by everybody. I'm on vacation now. Go away. No fighting. Barkeep busily polishes the counter. He's tall and sports a very ambitious beard. He greets you when you walk up to the bar. I'm Gary, he says. This is my inn. You have the look of a new arrival about you. You can buy a round of mushroom ale if you like. I just don't want to hear any complaining. Oh, barkeep, any advice on how to stay alive in Avernum? It's a good question. A lot of people come through here asking for my advice. I suggest doing for a living down here what you did on the surface, as long as it isn't harmful to anyone on the surface. Did you run an inn on the surface? Yes. Unfortunately, unknown to me, several rebels were using my place as a base of operation. When the Empire found them, they died. Then, to play it safe, I was sent to Avernum. Not fair, but since when has the Empire been fair? Any jobs adventurers could do? As a matter of fact, yes. I'm very interested in finding a natural hot spring. If so, I could profitably expand my innkeeping operation. If you find a nice spring, let me know and I'll pay you well. Where would I find such a thing? If I knew, I wouldn't have offered you money to find it, now would I? I'd look in the Eastern Gallery. There must be something like that nearby. Alright. A lot more miscellaneous favor type quests in this game than I'm really used to from Spiderweb games, but I'm not complaining. I like generic adventure. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and end off here, and next time on Let's Play Avernum Escape from the Pit, Sewers, the traditional first dungeon.